On a lovely evening, when the sun is setting, everyone is walking to their home. But a young boy rushing toward his classroom to confess his feeling for his crush. He took a deep breath and opened the door only to become surprised. Back to the flashback, Asahi Kuromine is a normal high school boy, but the problem is he can't hide secrets and tell lies from anyone, and for that reason, his friend named him Holy Basket. However, he has a crush on his cool and mysterious classmate, Youko Shiragami, and for some reason, she comes early and left the school after everyone. After school, Ashi's friend asks him when he is going to confess to Youko, because he can't hide his secret, so they already knew about it. Asahi admits that he has feeling for her, then his friends remind him of what happened last summer, when he confessed to the class rep, and still encourage him. The encouragement made Asahi's nerves worse, but he made his decision and goes confess to her. Back to the present, when he opens the classroom door, he finds her unfurling a large pair of wings from her back. First, they both become shocked to see each other suddenly, and after calming down, Youko admits that she is a vampire. She then reveals that now she has to leave the school because her secret is revealed, saying that she made a promise to her father that she would leave the school whenever her secret is revealed. But he does not want her to leave then. Even though he can't hide secrets and tell lies, he promises to keep her identity hidden and ask her to become his friend, which she gladly accepts. Meanwhile, newspaper club head Mikan Akemi, also known as Evil Queen, approached Asahi's friends and was eager to see how Asahi's confession went, but they run away without telling her anything. Later, Asahi comes to regret his decision. He could not confess to her when she calls him only a friend, and class president Nagisa Azawa also spotted them together. The next day, when his friends ask how his confession went, he tells that he decided to be just friends with Youko for now. Meanwhile, Nagisa is seated at her desk, lost in thought. She recalls the previous summer when she had brutally rejected Asahi to prevent him from getting too close to her. But now, seeing him with Youko, she feels a pang of jealousy. Later, in an otherwise empty classroom, Youko is eating her lunch with Asahi, and after finishing her lunch she asks him for his and finds cream puffs inside his desk. As she reaches for a cream puff, she notices that it is far too spicy for her to eat. She reveals her wings in surprise, just as Nagisa steps into the room. Nagisa is shocked, but she quickly covers by revealing her own secret. She is a tiny alien. Stepping out of her human-sized external unit, she holds a tiny ray gun at Youko, but quickly realizes that she has no reason to be afraid. She then tells him that she is going to erase his memories of her secret, and attacks him with a sledgehammer she refers to as a memory erasure apparatus. After chasing him down to the hallway, Asahi stops when she tells she can also erase the memory of Youko's secrets, and so he decides to let her hit him with that hammer. But Youko comes at the last moment to the rescue, saving Asahi from a nasty blow. After that, Nagisa apologizes, and the three of them decide to keep each other's secrets safe. Meanwhile, Mikan is shown digging a listening device out of an uneaten cream puff. The following morning, Asahi comes to school and finds Mikan grilling his friends for more information about Asahi's meeting with Imko, but they did not tell her anything, and then she asks Asahi about it. But Asahi is defiant, refusing to tell her anything, runs away, fearing that she would spread the information around school as she did in the past. She finally catches him, and after clicking some embarrassing photos, threatens him to tell her about everything. But he tells he and Youko are just friends. Then she decides to go after Youko. Later in class, Youko is absent, and Asahi is asked by his teacher to deliver homework to Imko, who is sick and unable to come to school. Mikan sees this as an opportunity to gather more information, and decides to follow him. Nagisa appears and hides him from her. He tells her everything, and when Mikan finds them, Nagisa helps him escape from her, determined to keep Mikan off his trail. Asahi arrives Youko's apartment where bats are flying outside her window. Youko invites him inside, so he decides to stay for a brief visit. But soon he gets a call from Nagisa warning him that Mikan managed to get past her, and is on her way to Imko's house. In a comedic turn of events, Mikan enters through the window and is accidentally knocked unconscious after being buried under a pile of Imko's junk from the closet. But when she comes to, Mikan decides to go one step further. She photoshops a romantic encounter between Asahi and Imko and threatens to display it throughout the school. Asahi confronts Mikan on the rooftop, begging her not to do it. Yet the arguing just makes her more grounded, so Asahi takes the opposite approach and decides to let her put up the pictures, telling her he would be very happy about it, draining her resolve, as she didn't want him to feel happy. And it worked very well. After school, a spirit residing in Mikan's glasses assumes that she secretly has feelings for Asahi, but Mikan angrily denies this as she twists her own glasses around. The next morning, Nagisa is not present in the class and Asahi finds her Lilliputian form, asking him to come outside the classroom, so he makes an embarrassing excuse to go outside. She then tells him that her external unit is out of battery and needs to be recharged, so she asks for his help and takes him to the girls' bathroom, where she keeping her unit. They sneak inside. He then carries her unit like a princess and meets Youko on their way. They explain her everything and with her help, they successfully manage to carry it to the nurse's office without being noticed by anyone. After putting the unit on recharge, Nagisa goes to the secure path for Asahi and Youko to leave, but Mikan stumbles upon the tiny Nagisa in the hallway. Nagisa acts like a figurine, and Asahi and Youko also try to play off Nagisa as a lifelike figurine. But Mikan thinks of her as a rumored fairy from the school's wonders, and to distract her attention, Asahi asks her more about it, and she tells him, as far as she knows there is a hallway fairy, the phantom horn lady, the perverted light, and lastly mentioned about an after-school vampire. Asahi's friend Shimada also shows up and is very excited to touch tiny Nagisa. Nagisa struggles to maintain her composure, forcing Asahi to admit that he made the figurine and snatch her back from his friends. Asahi and Nagisa take shelter in a gym storage shed. He hides her inside her pocket, and when tries to block the entrance, a mysterious horn lady did something, so the bag got heavy and he fell off. But Nagisa mysteriously grows to human size and reveals her antenna, which only shines during courtship ritual. Mikan, Shimada, and Imko are hot on their trail, but Asahi comes up with a plan. Asahi decides to have Nagisa punch him out of the shed, pretending to be angry, and escape. Afterward, the mysterious horned lady magically returned Nagisa to her normal size. After school, Asahi and Imko clear up their misunderstanding. The next day, Youko comes to school with a completely tan skink. But when Nagisa learns that UV rays from the sun cause Imko's skin to instantly tan, she decides to help her. Nagisa starts her training on how to dodge sunlight on her route to and from school, by telling her to jump from one shadow to another one, and their training continues till the evening. The next day, Asahi studies up on vampire weaknesses the whole night, and meets with Youko and Nagisa. Nagisa encourages Imko to do a field test with her new training. On their way through a shopping arcade, Asahi tries to protect Imko from the shopkeepers who try to sell her garlic and crosses, thinking it's dangerous for her. However, his all efforts are wasted when Youko tells him, like sunlight, their effects on Imko are much less harmful than their depictions in popular fiction. Crosses simply make her annoyed, and garlic makes her eyes water. After coming across an uncovered bridge, Imko is about to give up when Asahi asks if she's tried using sunscreen, and she presents like used it before. The next day, she ends up using it, and admits she never tried it before. The following weekend, Youko invites Asahi and Nagisa to an amusement park together to make Asahi and Nagisa closer, but Nagisa declines her, seeing this as an opportunity for Imko to get closer to Asahi. Both of them then go through the attractions, including a roller coaster ride. Youko then reveals that her parents also came for the date at this amusement park, and notes that their outing was similar to the relationship that her own parents had with each other, to the point where they even attended her current school together. Lastly, they visit a haunted house where Imko is scared at first, but becomes upset at the actor portraying a blood-sucking vampire. Afterward, Asahi asks her about other creatures, to which she replies they do exist, and one of the wolfmen is her childhood friend. Meanwhile, Imko's father is suspicious of her new boyfriend, and tasks the scary-looking man with bringing her back home, if her secret has been revealed. Asahi and Imko were on their way back from the amusement park. Suddenly, they encountered that scary man with fangs. Imko recognized him as her childhood friend, Shiro, but even though she knew him, he still threatened Asahi, telling Asahi knows her secret, and he is going to take her back as her father ordered. But Asahi denied, and they get into an argument until the moon appeared in the sky, and Shiro transformed into a sexy lady named Shiho. The three of them then headed to Imko's home. Yalko tells him Shiho is her real childhood friend. Shiho explained that she was the dominant personality in the body she shared with Shiro, but her teasing of Asahi made Imko jealous, as she reveals that the wolfman can change at any depiction of the moon, including a picture she shows to Shiho. Meanwhile, Nagisa heads to Imko's home to make a peace offering with her homemade cake. Yet after showing up finds Shiho nailing down Asahi and leaves. At the point when she returns a second after the fact, she sees Shiro similarly situated and escapes at the sight. After that, Asahi fell unconscious and Shiho tell Yauko to be more honest about her feeling before she leaves. The next day, they cleared up the misunderstanding, and later, Shiho appeared in Asahi's class as a transfer student, introducing herself as a pervert. Later, after being relentlessly teased by Shiho at school, Asahi began to projectile nosebleed, while Nagisa started to get jealous. Asahi ran away from them to meet Imko in the hallway. The two then encountered a tiny girl with horns walking by them eating lots of snacks. They quietly follow her till Yauko directly speaks with her. Girl tells Imko that she is a Kane Komodo, related to their homeroom teacher, Akari Komodo. When Asahi asks her about horns, she pulls them off and tells them they are just fashion jewelry and leaves. Akari showed up, and it revealed Akane is a devil, and also her great-great-grandmother. Akari wrangled Akane back to her office. At the principal's office, Asahi and Imko learned that Akane was actually a 1,000-year-old devil, and also the school's headmaster. Akane also claims that it was thanks to her that they all were allowed to transfer into the same class. Despite knowing Akane is a principal, Imko keeps baiting her into childish reactions with snacks, and claims to be the more mature girl. Meanwhile, Nagisa was tracking mysterious demonic energy from her cat-like spacecraft elsewhere in the city. Imko and Akane decided to have a sexy contest in the empty school gym, with Shiho as the host and Asahi as the judge through his nosebleed reactions. In multiple contests, events included a sexy pose contest, swimsuit contest, dance contest, and cosplay contest. Imko and Akane tried to one-up each other to prove their sexiness, but Asahi kept getting the strongest reaction from Shiho's actions. At long last, Imko provokes Akane to endure eating horrendous cream puffs that Mikan made before. The contest ended with Imko and Akane blowing up the gym in a large explosion, sending Nagisa's spacecraft flying from the shockwave. Asahi learns he needs to retake a cooking class, having missed the past one. He is happy to figure out that Imko, Nagisa, and Shiho are going along with him in making curry. However, before long figures out that each of the three young ladies experiences difficulty making it. Nagisa takes the lead, and her perfect and well-organized step-by-step directions lead her to make a chocolate cake instead of curry, which is accidentally thrown out the window. Akane catches it with her horn. After taking a bite, she falls in love with it. Mikan sees Akane and thinks of her as one of the school's wonders. Mikan decides to buy snacks for Akane, in hopes of getting an interview with her. But Akane slips away until Akari appears to wrangle her back to the cooking class. Meanwhile, Asahi and the group manage to make decent-looking curry until Imko and Nagisa get too enthusiastic and added something to the curry that causes it to release poison gas. Later that night, Akane breaks down the wall of Akari's apartment and demands more of Nagisa's made chocolate cake. Akari refuses, and Akane threatens to destroy the plane by magically steering an asteroid toward Earth. The next day, Imko, Nagisa, and Shiho reunite to make chocolate in the same room. While they are preparing, Akari discovers that the asteroid veers off course when Akane loses concentration. So Akari ties her down to a chair and force feeds her chocolates made by everyone except Nagisa, starting with Shiho's banana to Yaoko's chocolates. Later Mikan also joined them, who is excited to get a revenge on Akane. Akane tries copying herself to reach Nagisa's chocolate. The girls fend Akane's clones off, until she loses sufficient focus that Nagisa's comrades in outer space force the asteroid to make a U-turn, saving Earth from obliteration. It's summertime and Asahi's friend advises him to invite Yauko to the pool. So he finally musters up the courage to invite Yoko to the pool. But Yoko doesn't know how to swim and misunderstands the invitation, and thinks they're both going to practice swimming. To Asahi's surprise, Yoko invites both Nagisa and Shiho. On their pool trip, Asahi's 3 friends wind up going too with them. Girls show up in their swimsuits, and Shiho leads the swimming lesson with Nagisa as her assistant, but her instructions get Shimada into trouble when he tries to use them in real practice. Her next set of guidelines makes Nagisa take her out and have her spot as an educator, naturally in a militaristic manner. However, her teaching style nearly drowns both first Yoko, when she teaches her how to float, and then Asahi, during the flutter kicking season. Asahi and Yauko then practice together. Mikan also shows up with her 2 little brothers, and for the first time without her camera. We see a softer side of her as she talks about Asahi. After the pool closes, Asahi and Yoko make excuses to ditch the gang. Then they both meet at the school pool for more swimming lessons. Yauko tells Asahi that her mom and dad also used to take the swimming lessons secretly, and about how her life has changed for the better since they met. But things take an embarrassing turn when they address each other by their first names for the first time, secretly watched by Akane. Akata, Sakurada, and Shimada invite Asahi and Yauko to a buffet restaurant, but Yauko is reluctant for fear of revealing her secret. However, Asahi convinces her, although there is constant danger of Yoko being exposed. As Yoko's wings appear and bats hover outside the restaurant, things seem to be going well, until Mikan, who is working as a waitress, appears. She wants Yauko to test her latest batch of Russian cream puffs to protect Yoko, Asahi, and Shimada eat them all, with the expected result. The following day at school, Mikan is troubled, having lost her Heathen Queen glasses. They were given to her by Asahi. Asahi and Yauko tell Nagisa, and the 3 of them decides to help Mikan as well. It turns out that Akane was the one who stole them and run away. A major chase through the school begins with Akane using her magic tricks, culminating in her creating clones wearing identical glasses. But Akari breaks up the chase, returns the glasses, and drags Akane off for punishment. Later, by the riverside, Nagisa learns the glasses are inhabited by a Fukunakami, a training god of good fortune. And this Fukunakami possessed the glasses, since they were filled up with good memories about Mikan's childhood, and her true feelings for Asahi. Mikan tries to throw the glasses away, but is stopped by Nagisa. Glasses challenge her to face Asahi without them, or she will confess to him in a panic. Mikan tries to put the glasses on again, and in the ensuing confusion, Nagisa winds up wearing the glasses. Fukunakami blurts out and confesses to Asahi, making it sound like Nagisa had spoken. Later Asahi and Nagisa were invited by Yauko, Shimada, Oka, and Sakura, separately, to the summer festival. However, Yauko tricked them into together on them, spending an exciting time alone together. Remembering the glasses incident, Asahi, trying to make the atmosphere less awkward, invited Nagisa to play at the shooting gallery. And to make things even more exciting, Yauko and Shiho decided to follow them around and watch their every move. As Yauko watched the 2 of them play, she became flustered and lost track of where they went. Just then, Mikan showed up with her 2 little brothers to help the group look for Asahi and Nagisa. After a while, Asahi and Nagisa finally come across Yauko, who runs away after seeing them. And while they are chasing her, Nagisa tripped and fell onto Asahi. She realized her love for him and embraces him in front of everyone. The incident has left everyone in a confused state. Youko, who has been avoiding Asahi, is unaware of her true feelings toward him. After the incident at the summer festival, Youko starts avoiding Asahi. Asahi tries different methods to spend time with Youko, but she keeps running away. Shiho consults with Youko about being more genuine about her own feelings. Meanwhile, Asahi seeks advice from his friends on how to approach Youko again. Nagisa reevaluates her own feelings in the hallway and comes to the conclusion that she needs to apologize in person for what happened at the festival. But before she could, Akane comes up the stairway and accuses Nagisa of wanting Youko out of the picture by showing a summer festival photo. Nagisa denies the claim, but Akane persists until Akari comes and takes her back to the principal's office. Upon leaving, Akane dropped a photo. As Nagisa looks at the photo from the festival, she decides to keep it for personal use only. But Asahi and his friends soon notice her, and she tries to hide the photo from them. Mikan also arrives and becomes suspicious, pushing the two of them into the wall, and the photo lands in Asahi's hands. In a moment of panic, Nagisa shoves ice cream into Asahi's eyes and takes the photo back. Asahi can't see and set his arms against the wall, hindering Nagisa in. Youko, who passes by and sees this, runs away. At home, she begins to think about everything that has happened, including what Shiho said. At Asahi's house, he has a nightmare about losing Youko as a friend. The next morning, he finds Youko, and she asks to meet him on the rooftop in the evening. He tells his friends about this, so they encourage him to go and confess to her before he gets rejected. He then decides to go. Nagisa overhears the conversation, and she thinks about the thing she must do. Mikan, who is also watching, explains about Asahi's past love confessions, and how Youko was the only serious love he has ever had. Nagisa understood what she had to do, while Asahi making his way to the rooftop. Nagisa tries to stop Asahi from confessing to Youko by chasing him and trying to knock him out with a sleep-inducing device, basically a shovel. However, Asahi decided he had enough and climbed up a stack of desks and chairs to make his way to the rooftop. When he gets there, he sees Youko being taken away by a mysterious bat. A few moments later, Asahi, Akari, Nagisa, Shiho, and Akane were in pursuit of Youko. But Akari's refusal to exceed the speed limit was hampering their progress and risking damaging her new car, which she purchased after giving up all her beers. Akane takes matters into her own hands, using her powers to take control of the car. However, in the process, she ends up destroying it when they reach the location. Akari runs after Akane to punish her. Meanwhile, Asahi, Nagisa, and Shiho decide to go Youko's place. The three of them break into the mansion and are faced by Youko's father, Genjurm. Unlike Youko and others, he is too big in size. Asahi requests him to return Youko back to the school, but is questioned about his relationship with her. Youko arrives, and the trio tries to help her escape by throwing a garlic bomb on her father, but all this becomes pointless when Youko tells them that her father was bringing her home because her mother is sick. Youko had wanted to tell Asahi that she was going home for a bit. But now the problem is Genjurm learns that Asahi knows Youko's secret and chases after them, but Asahi is able to make him slip on a banana peel. Youko hides Asahi inside her room. While hiding in her room, Youko and Asahi talk about what happened at the school festival. Genjurm tries to force Asahi out of Youko's room, but Shiho brings Youko's mother Tunko, who frightens Genjurm into running off. Youko then reveals that the large bat who took brought was her father. Youko and Asahi go to talk to Genjurm. As he shows him Nagisa's memory erasing hammer, Nagisa exposes herself as an alien. Asahi offers to have his memories of Youko's secret erased if Genjurm promises to allow Youko to return to school. Genjurm agrees, but only if Asahi erases all of his memories of Youko. However, Nagisa is unable to do, and Youko stops Asahi before he can do so himself. Just as Youko is about to confess to Asahi, Genjurm collapses. While eating onigiri, Nagisa and Youko talk to each other. The next morning, Akari and Akane pick up the students. Akari made Akane pay for a new car in full. Genjurm pretends not to care, but in the end, runs after the car waving goodbye. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. If you have any suggestions or questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Until next time, take care.